Alright, welcome back everyone. Whew, I was just running around trying to get some stuff done in between the games there. A little bit late getting back, so the timer was a lie. The reason I didn't have enough time is because I couldn't get my damn timer to work properly. But oh well, we're here. If you're watching the VOD, you have no idea what I'm talking about. If you're watching a game, you also have no idea what I'm talking about. But yeah, I've got a little countdown timer on my stream on twitch.tv/NizCast. And yeah, it just was not cooperating with me. But that's neither here nor there. But I should actually talk about a little bit about watching in-game through the in-game ticket, because the in-game ticket for the Saturday Dota League is actually free, so you can just go and watch the games right now. You can watch them live in Dota TV. You can listen to me, hopefully, as last week you couldn't listen to me as apparently I was muted in-game. But as long as Valve hasn't messed me up again, it should be working this time. So you can go and go into well, under the Watch tab, go under Amateur for Americas, and it'll be in there, Saturday Dota League. Of course, it should be on the front page because there is a live game right now, so you can go in and watch any of the games that are live whenever you want. You can also go in and watch any of the replays if you missed some of the games. So that's really cool that's free and available to everyone. So definitely go check that out and make use of that, because that's I mean, that's what this tournament's, that's what this league's all about. Is about accessibility and getting some of these pretty high skill but lesser known teams recognized and creating a place for them to play. But let's catch up in the draft here, as we've got once again ASDF going up against No Broodmama. ASDF came into tonight with well, no wins under their belt, but they managed to take game one off of No Broodmama, which surprisingly they were sitting at 2-2 coming into this, and their 2 wins were against Boreal, which is I mean, they're definitely the heavy favorites going into the Saturday Dota League. Out of all the divisions, they're definitely the heavy favorites to win it. But No Broodmama took both the games off of Boreal. But they did lose game 1 here against ASDF. And they'll look to rebound and try and take game 2 here. There's really
10 seconds remaining.
There's really not much on the line here between these two teams. I mean, I guess there is. If No Broodmama wins, doesn't really change anything. If ASDF wins, then effectively the two teams are tied at 2-4 record. So, of course, with ASDF winning the series between the two, they kind of have that bragging rights. But we have some interesting picks coming out here, as we've got, let's quickly zoom through the bans, as Leshrac and Bounty Hunter getting banned out by ASDF in the first round. Then they banned out the Witch Doctor and the Bristleback. Gyro, Undying, Dragon Knight, and Storm Spirit were the bans for No Broodmama. Nyx Assassin, actually I'll skip ASDF. Queen of Pain, Dazzle, Earthshaker, and Shadow Fiend were the picks for No Broodmama. ASDF picked up a Nyx Assassin, Chen, Clinks, and then a Zeus. Typically Clinks, one of those heroes that you might pick up because it's a strong counter to a Chen. It is quite strong against a hero like a Queen of Pain. It's pretty good against Dazzle as well. However, Dazzle, if he's able to get the Shallow Grave off on someone that your Clinks is trying to blow up, that's a big counter to Clinks. However, Clinks can just kill Dazzle because he's a little bit of a sitting duck when he's not able to get his Shallow Grave off. Or if there's 2 targets there, just because the Dazzle's there doesn't mean that target's safe, because Clinks can just use that Orchid and silence the Dazzle. But holy crap, this finished quickly. So Zeus and Phoenix were the final 2 for ASDF, and then No Broodmama goes completely against their namesake, and last picks Broodmother. How can they do that? You can't. That's not even fair. They need a name change. Someone call the admins. Let's try and figure out our lanes here while we've got a couple seconds. Shadow Fiend mid, safe lane, Queen of Pain, Dazzle, Earthshaker, and Broodmother solo off lane. Looks good. There might be a 2-1-2 situation. I don't think we're going to put someone up there with the Broodmother, but that is a possibility. As for ASDF, their lanes are a little bit more difficult to estimate and take a run at there. I think it's pretty safe to say that the Chen's going to be in the jungle. So we've got that. As for... I'm actually drawing a blank on our last hero as well. Phoenix, right. So, we've got a lot of potential offlaners. So, with the Phoenix, the way I'm going to approach this is... Eleanor was mid last game, but let's ignore that. He could very well be going mid again on the Zeus, and I think that's probably what we're going to see. The highest importance for a hero in terms of farm on ASDF is going to be the Clinks, as he's a large amount of their damage, that right-click damage. So I'm going to say that he's going to be farming safe lane, and he's probably going to be protected by... I guess the Nyx Assassin and having the Phoenix in the offlane. Yeah, I think that's probably what they're going to go with. We'll see if I'm right. That's at least my my thought process behind it all. But let's introduce our teams and our players. We've got on the Radiant side, no Broodmama. Brink is going to be playing the Shadow Fiend this time around. 11 is going to be playing the Queen of Pain. Shanks is on the Dazzle. Era on the Earthshaker, and he's trying to escape me. It's Hank Za playing the Broodmother on no Broodmama. Still a little disappointed with that whole series of events. As for our Dire side, we've got Team ASDF. YOLO Swag Rico is going to be playing the Clinks, and they're putting him in the offlane. Really interesting. Eleanor is going to be playing the Zeus. Asanta at NASA is going to be playing the Chen. God's Hand is going to be playing the Phoenix. And Matif is going to be playing the Nyx Assassin.
30 seconds to battle.
We've got the Broodmama setting up her webs. But we do have one observer ward that's gone down thus far. And it's going to be this one. That's going to be spotting the top rune location, but also giving a little bit of that vision across the way, which is always valuable. Looks like the top rune is definitely going to go in favor of ASDF, but there could potentially be a little bit of a battle here for the bottom one. Will YOLO Swag Rico be able to steal it? He will not. 11's going to get it on the Queen of Pain. And the top one was actually taken by the Phoenix. Interesting. But, okay. So, this is what they're doing. Okay. So, they're keeping their Chen in their jungle. The Phoenix is going to be safe lane, but effectively he's the offlaner. In the mid lane, it's going to be the Zeus, and then they're going to go aggro with the two heroes, with the Clinks and the Nyx Assassin. And I'm still a little worried. I don't think Clinks is really going to get that much farm down here. I think 11's going to be able to free farm pretty much in the bottom lane. Because it's going to be Queen of Pain, Dazzle, and Earthshaker going up against just that Nyx and the Clinks. Mid lane, it's going to be the Shadow Fiend up against the Zeus. And in the top lane, it's going to be the Broodmother going up against the Phoenix. But you got to keep in mind the Chen is in the jungle, so always a very real possibility that the Chen's going to be able to rotate out of that jungle and potentially gank that Broodmother. But Broodmother, not the easiest hero to gank, but when you get something like a Troll, the Dark Troll Summoner, I believe it's called, as it doesn't look like we've got any spawned right now, but that's always good. The Ensnare is great at trapping the Broodmother, making sure that she's not able to run away. Something like a Centaur or whatever is good at locking down a target, but it's very, very difficult to get a Centaur in range, especially with the heroes that you have, a Phoenix and a Chen. You don't really have a way of really slowing down that Broodmother to get a Centaur in the range. So Dark Troll Summoner is pretty much going to be your only option for being able to lock down that Broodmother. The bottom lane, we've got a little bit of a dive past the tower as Yellow Swag Rico's in a whole lot of trouble as they did drop a sentry ward, but not able to finish him off. He might actually tick out here. One more tick. Oh, he goes down to 12. Is it going to happen? 3 HP. That Tango does just barely save his life as that little bit of regen. Brink in trouble here. There's no way he's getting out of it. It's going to be our first blood. Matif's going to get it on the Nyx Assassin. He picked up that haste rune from the bottom and hauled ass all the way to that mid lane. Came in from behind. Not like Gyrocopter says, but getting the kill there. Now God's Hand in trouble in the top lane. Broodmama gets the kill. Tower not able to finish as the Broodmama got under the web. Got that invis off, and that meant disjointing all those projectiles, the attacks coming out from the tower. So far, mid lane, a little bit Shadow Fiend favored right now, as Brink sitting at 17-6. Eleanor sitting at 11-0. You typically don't expect the Zeus to get too many denies, although he is probably a little bit... he does have a much better chance of getting denies earlier on against the Shadow Fiend than he would against most heroes. But doesn't have any just yet. Of course, Zeus, really easy to get last hits on him because you can always use the Arc Lightning to get that last hit. You can actually time it with your auto attack if need be. So you throw your auto attack and then you Arc Lightning at the same time that your auto attack is going to hit, and it means that you're hitting really hard. I'm not sure exactly what the math is, but Arc Lightning hits for 85 plus your auto attack, which is 55, which is now 57 as he levels up. But that's a lot of damage in one hit, which is effectively 2. But you know what I mean, because you've timed it to basically land at the same time. Makes it pretty much impossible to deny against. Matif once again gets another rune. This time it's going to be a bounty, but he lost a lot of HP to do so. He just has one more Tango left. So a little fresh out of regen. But in the top lane, God's Hand once again in trouble. This Phoenix up against Broodmama, not the best lane for them so far, as it's definitely not working out. But they're making up for it with Matif rotating around and creating chaos all over the map on this Nyx Assassin. Problem is what has that meant for Yellow Swag Rico?
Dire's middle tower
farm
is
on the
under
Clinks.
attack.
He's sitting at 3-0 CS right now, and I really feel like they need more CS on this Clinks. Maybe I'm just completely misinterpreting how they want to play this, or I'm overestimating how important the Clinks' damage is going to be in this game going forward. I don't know, but it feels wrong to me. Feels wrong, but we'll see. I'd actually really like for them to just completely prove me wrong and just completely, show that this is definitely the right thing to do, and just kind of, I don't want to say walk all over no Broodmama, but essentially, just make no doubt in anyone's mind that I was just straight up wrong about this, because you know what, it's okay to be wrong in Dota, and that means I'm learning at the same time. But right now, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to rationalize it. I'm trying to think of where they're gaining an advantage as a result of the Clinks being down there and getting very little farm. I mean, they've gained advantages, but it's mainly because of the Nyx rotating around. As there's another kill in the top lane, as this time Hegza has dropped God's Hand once again. It's going to be the second 1v1 kill that he's gotten on the Phoenix. Yellow Swag Rico's hunting an Earthshaker. He's got Eleanor in behind him, and oh my goodness, that Earthshaker drops so quickly, but Brink just kind of comes in, casually throws out a raise, gets a kill, picks up the rune, bottles it up, gets a bounty, and just makes his way back to the mid lane. Or something. He looks a little lost. Walked in here, I don't know what that was about. But now he finds the way back to the mid lane. He is our top farmer right now. 47. It's going to go up to 50. Yeah, 50 and 10 CS right now on the Shadow Fiend. Second's actually going to be the Chen. Asanta at NASA sitting at 39 and 1. Then we've got the Queen of Pain. Like I said, 11's going to have an easy time in the bottom lane. He's sitting at 36 and 12. Oh, missing that last hit. I was thinking it was going to go to 37, but 11 taking a lot of damage here. Shallow Grave from Shanks will keep him alive. 11 just turns around with that Shallow Grave, throws out the Sonic Wave, and just completely blows up YOLO Swag Rico. Nice blink from 11 to avoid Eleanor there, as Eleanor did zap the trees. This was the most likely location for Queen of Pain to blink, either in there or kind of over there trying to escape. But when you're here and the Zeus is down there, you can either go up, which can be a little bit risky, or do kind of the unorthodox thing, which 11 did. Blink off to the left and just TP away, and yeah, got away. So good play there coming out from 11.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And that was a 1-for-1 trade, but overall it was a good trade for no Broodmama. Not sure what happened, but we did lose the Broodmama in the top lane while that was going on, though. So obviously ASDF managed to combine for a kill. I think the Chen was here right as we went to go look at bottom. So making the way towards the top, catching out the Broodmother, I'm guessing. I can actually see who got the kill. It was the Phoenix that got the kill. God's Hand. He's actually not doing too bad. Tranquil Boots, Gloves of Haste, sitting at 860, 870 gold now. So looks like he's going to be going for Midas as his next item. He's really not that far away. So it's not too bad. Problem is that this Broodmama's doing pretty damn good as well. And has the Oblivion Staff, so the Orchid's going to be on the way shortly. And interesting that the Phoenix is actually ahead of the Broodmother in terms of CS. Despite the fact that if you saw the kills, that it looked like this lane was very heavily in favor of the Broodmother. That Phoenix has managed to get an extra 14 CS on top of the Broodmother. And now Broodmother is just going to dive right past the tower, go right after the Phoenix, who will drop into the Supernova, but oh my goodness, is the rebirth going to happen? It is! The TP from Tiff, and I don't know. I thought Hank Zaw was going to get that. I think we both read that exactly the same. But didn't work out for him. Nice TP coming out from the support. Nyx Assassin there. And they had a little bit of help from
Radiant's
the Zeus
top tower
zapping from the other side of the map.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But overall, good play from ASDF. They definitely came to play tonight. Well, YOLO Swag Rico will farm up a little bit in the mid lane, and he's, like I said, he's going to need it. He's at 12-0, now 13-0 CS. Top tier 1 has gone down. Phoenix, or Icarus dive from the Phoenix. Will they be able to bring down Brink? He's on low HP, but I don't think so. The Kobold, whatever, running at him with his Chalice, but will go down to a right click there, and we're going to lose the Broodmother as well. Will ASDF look to keep pushing here? They've got a bunch of Chen creeps still. God's Hand and Matif still hanging out here. Looks like Brink's going to head up there and try to defend. Raze is going to be very, very effective at stopping a push at this early in the game. He does have a Yule Scepter as well.
Is under attack.
Wipes out some of the creeps, but Hand of God's going to come out from the Chen. And now Icarus dive from Gods. And now Brink is on the run. Will Matif be able to get the stun off? I think Brink was ready to Yule's himself if he saw the stun coming out. But he'll be fine. Supernova's going to go off God's Hand. But now they'll just use it to disengage. But 11 says, screw that. I'm going to blink forward. I'm going to make sure that you're not able to disengage. Dark Troll Summoner will ensnare him so he's not able to chase. But that does wear off, and he's going to keep going. We've already lost the Nyx Assassin. The Broodmother got the kill there. The Phoenix will get tossed up in the air by Brink. And eventually they will be able to bring down the bird. Santa and NASA heading back to
Radiant's middle tower
the
is under
fountain.
attack.
Yola Swag Rico did very much enjoy that farm in the mid lane. I managed to finish an Aquila for him and a Soul Ring, so that should help him farm a little bit faster and get a little bit more XP and gold under his belt. But still, he's gonna
Dire's structures are
be quite
fortified.
ineffective right now.
Dire's middle
needs
tower
more.
is under attack. Dire's top tower is under. Dire's
is,
top tower has fallen.
Top tier 1 going down. This is a very different way for ASDF to play the lineup that they went with, but
Radiant's
it's
bottom
actually working
tower
out
is
quite
under
well for them
attack.
so far. As it looks like they're just saying, you know what, we're going to put our Clinks down there, we're going to kind of sack the Clinks, and then we're just going to push with the Chen, which is typically what, I mean, that's ideally what you want on paper with the Chen. Come out of the jungle, maybe get a gank, push a tier 1 tower. Losing Brink there, and now Eleanor's running around real quick on that Zeus with some hasted Nikes. And Era is going to go down with Yola Swag Rico throwing out those flaming
of mind
arrows.
and body.
And now he's going to go Dark Pack to creep here, and he's actually going to be in behind these heroes from No Broodmama. 11 will blink away. Supernova coming out from God's hand. Shanks, shallow grave TP. He will make it out alive. I don't know how, but I just clicked on God's hand and I just got the
Radiant's middle tower has been
Supernova
denied.
egg again, which I was on and I clicked off of it and then I got back on it.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
TP coming in from
Dire's
God's hand just to
structures are
force this
fortified.
Broodmother back. We're going to see a lot of this ratting coming out from No Broodmama. As right now you have to, you look at the kill total, it's 8 and 8, but right now I'd say ASDF is in the lead right now. They're in the lead, and I'm curious to see what the gold graph is going to show. It's going to show, okay, it's going to show ASDF in the lead, but I think it's actually more significant than 750 gold right now. But
Dire's middle tower
there's
is
a
under
very
attack.
thin line there. It can very quickly go back the other way. Gold isn't entirely telling. XP isn't either. Oh, Eleanor will get bursted down, but he is able to get the Thunder God's Wrath in off in time. But will his teammates be able to get another kill? No, they won't. As God's Hand came out as well from the Chen. Now this tier 1 tower in the mid lane taking quite a beating. But I don't think it'll go down just yet, or maybe it will. 11 coming in from the side, and no, nice fissure coming out from Era. That secures a kill onto a Santa at NASA. And now they definitely will be able to bring down this mid tier 1. Unless they take too many hits from the tower, but I think they should be fine.
Dire's
There
middle
is
tower is under attack.
God's Hand just up on the high ground there,
Radiant's
kind of
bottom
waiting in the
tower is
wings,
under
but
attack.
he'll back away,
Dire's
realizing
middle
that
tower has
the
fallen.
situation's just not gonna work out. He actually ran right into the Broodmama. Orchid is completed on the Brood. He's going to use it to
Radiant's
initiate
bottom
onto the
tower is
Phoenix.
under attack.
Now they're just going to dive past the tower, go after it. Matif's going to TP on in, but the Phoenix is already dead. The fissure was there on point from Era, and he just gets bursted down from the Nyx Assassin and the Chen. Brink trying to get a kill here. He'll actually have to toss himself up in the air as he was about to go down. Now Shallow Grave coming out from Shanks. Requiem will fly from Brink as Yola Swag Rico has gone down to Santa at NASA. Looks like he's going to be the second victim for 11 here as he'll eventually tick out. He actually goes down to the Broodmama Spiderlings. But looks like we will have both teams running away. Or at least no Broodmama running away. ASDF's trying to pursue, but they're not going to be able to do so. Take a quick look at all our heroes and see what we've got in terms of items. As well, we've got no Broodmama. Everyone with the boots in your first slot strat. As we've got 2 sets of treads is on the Queen of Pain and the Shadow Fiend. Everyone else just has the brown boots. But as for our Queen of Pain, interesting that 11 chose to go with the drums, as that's an item that people have really changed their opinion on and kind of not really pick it up anymore at all. But electing to go for it this game, and I like it. It gives you a nice HP pool also gives you that int to increase the mana pool,
Zeus
and just
bless.
overall increases your team's ability to fight now, which is important because there was a lot of pushing coming out from ASDF. So I thought it was a pretty good item pick out. Oh, look at that bait coming out from 11. Just kind of, they knew that the Nyx was here, just kind of walking around and just waiting, and then they both coordinated with the fissure and went. That was a good work between 11 and Era there. But 11 has also picked up a point booster, so Aghanims will be his next item. Speaking of Era, how close does he get into his Blink Dagger? Sitting on 800 gold right now, so it's on its way, but looks like he might get set back here in just a second. As, oh my, the burst damage coming up from Eleanor. They're going to line up! So the fissure would have actually stunned out both of them, but he died before the fissure actually went off. As the nuke from Eleanor dropped him down to just over 300 HP. And that meant, well, he went down very quickly soon thereafter. Pushed on the top tier 2 will be stopped from a TP support coming out from the heroes of ASDF. The Sunbeam will be locked onto the back of the Broodmother, but they're not going to be able to catch up to catch the stupid spider. As you know what? I hate this hero. I absolutely hate Broodmother. I honestly don't think anyone does. I think there's a few people that like play Broodmother, and it can't be enjoyable. It cannot be enjoyable. Like, first of all, I'm not a fan of spiders.
Dire's bottom tower
Second
is under
of all,
attack.
What is he doing right now? Like, this is the right way to play right now. You're not doing anything. Oh my gosh. Damn Broodmother.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And he comes out and he tries to go onto Yellow Swagrico here, but not going to be able to do so. And certainly if he dove any further, I think he would have been punished there, as God's Hand and a Santet Nasa were both there. Speaking of God's Hand, he's about halfway to finishing his Yule Scepter. Santet Nasa, mech almost done. We've got the courier flying in, just a TP. Yellow Swagrico goes up to 2,100 gold. Still hasn't picked up anything besides his Fred's Aquila and Soul Ring.
Dire's structures
Tier 2
are
tower
fortified.
has been glyphed. Will it go down here? It denies a very real possibility, but doesn't go for it. Instead, going for the Broodmother, and they will get the kill there. But unfortunately, not getting the deny on the tower. But Matif has been doing work this game on this support Nyx Assassin. Already has the Arcanes in the blink up. Another 1,200 gold as well. This is a support Nyx. And take a look at the items. Got 2 observers, 2 sentries, got a smoke, got a dust. Like, yeah, you've got a Chen on your team, but like, he's been doing a lot of the supporting stuff while Chen's been trying to get the mech up. So this item progression from the Nyx has been absolutely insane. 11 will find a kill onto that Chen. And now Era Echo Slam as they try to disengage and run away. He doesn't have mana to fissure, just has the enchant totem. Will it be enough? I think it will. We've got an ensnare from the Dark Troll Summoner, not going to be cast, as it looks like Eleanor has backed away, and well, maybe he need to back away a little bit earlier, as he ran into 11 and Brink, and 11 threw out the Sonic Wave and managed to drop the Zeus. 17 to 11 now in favor of no Broodmama. As well, this game's kind of turned upside down. As it was looking pretty good for ASDF, but like I said, I feel like right now they're in a point where, how do they, what do they do in the team fights? They've got a lot of damage coming out from their Zeus, but beyond that, they don't really have that much. They're just kind of poking and prodding in a team fight. They're one of their main heroes in the team fights, or in the game right now. This God's Hand getting a kill there, getting helped out with the Thunder God's Wrath from Eleanor. I'm not sure if it was actually for that fight that was going on in the top lane, as it allowed them to also get a kill onto Era on the Earthshaker, as the Thunder God's Wrath got the kill there. But one of the heroes that is absolutely huge for ASDF right now is this Nyx Assassin, support Nyx Assassin. There's no way that they went into this draft and said, you know what? Our Nyx Assassin that's going to be supporting and buying wards while our Chen makes item progression. He's going to be the one having the big impact on the game for us. He's going to be the one, running around making all the plays while, we kind of struggle at this stage in the game. This seems like a little bit of a weird strategy to me. So I don't know. I feel like they almost fell into that trap of we can push and we can snowball off of that, but not really having a kind of fail-safe in the event that you only get a couple towers. Because they pushed, but they only have 2 towers. Oh, 11 getting tossed up in the air. Or sorry, that was Matif getting tossed up in the air. And he lands right into a Requiem and gets one shot by Brink. Brink also getting another kill, dropping the clinks. He'll get a third as he's going to kill God's Hand. Will he get a fourth as he's going to try to chase down a Santa at NASA as now the Hand of God comes out. And Brink will get that kill there. It's an ultra kill for him. We've got Matif, who's come back and rejoined. Will we get a Rampage? As Brink has tossed Matif up as he's now on the run. As Eleanor's gotten a triple kill of his own. A little juking and jive and walks up onto the high ground. Blinks back down to the low ground and even bottles up a DD. Ooh, if Eleanor kept chasing there, Brink was ready to turn around. But we won't see it. So just an ultra kill. Just an ultra kill for the Shadow Fiend. But triple kill for the Zeus as well. Oh, YOLO Swag Rico's picked up 2 Mithril Hammers, so Desolator will be his first item. And now Matif stunning up the Broodmama and all the Spiderlings that come with him. And they will be able to bring down the Broodmother, but unfortunately do lose their Nyx Assassin in the process, but definitely a worthwhile trade. Now God's Hand TPs to the bottom lane as he's gonna just kind of run at 11, take a bunch of damage, and then have to Yule Scepter him. As 11 looks like he was actually throwing out the Sonic Wave, as now he'll just blink away. As my camera work was absolutely atrocious there, I apologize. Now Brink, 11, Shanks will try to bring down Roche here, and it looks like they will be able to do so without any interference coming out from anyone from the side of ASDF. There is a gem on Shanks, so he's got that available to him, but hasn't completed his medallion just yet. But that should be coming up soon. 11 has finished his Aghanim Scepter. Brink will pick up that Aegis, but also has a BKB as well. As his Blink and 2,800 gold. What about Era? Well, there's that medallion getting finished by Shanks. Era has picked up his Arcane Boots, which sets him back from getting that Blink Dagger. He's at 800 gold right now, so it's still going to be a while since we see a Blink Dagger on that Earthshaker. But ASDF tried to push back there, and maybe they've gone a little bit too far, maybe not. Brink pops the BKB, lets the Requiem fly. They do lose Shanks, and then they've spent the Aegis, and I don't see Brink getting out of here. He will Yules himself and then Blink immediately after, but never mind. The stun is on point from Matif, perfectly timed, as they'll lose the Aegis and the Shadow Fiend, so a little bit of a waste there, but definitely a huge moment for ASDF. That's exactly what they needed to really find themselves back in this game, as no Broodmama had found a little bit of an advantage there with dropping into Roche Pit, getting that Aegis up, but immediately it gets expended. So, you know, right now I don't like the position that ASDF's in, but certainly with how that just went, they're in a better position than they were prior to it. But you gotta keep in mind, there are still tier 2 towers. We got a tier 2 up in the mid lane, tier 2 up in the bottom lane. So they got a lot of structures left. So it's not like they're completely getting run over. And they're getting almost kills like these. Now YOLO Swag Rico, that last hit, oh my goodness, hit so hard.
Safe word.
Tries to bring down Shanks, but there's that shallow grave, and that's the downside of not having the Orchid. You can't stop that, the shallow grave coming out from the Dazzle, but you do hit so damn hard with the Desolator. And look at that, Eleanor just says, you know what? I can just use the Thunder God's Wrath to finish you off after the shallow grave, and he did just that. We do have Necro 2 now on the Broodmother. Sand's getting picked up as well. Looks like it's going to be a full S and Y for the Shadow Fiend. God's Hand has finished the Yule Scepter. Still just the BKB, but it should be... sorry, still just the Ogre Club, but it should be a BKB for the Clinks. And he'll find a kill onto the Broodmother. So this is the weird part, right? So right now we see how effective Clinks is being. He can move around the map, he can get these kills because he's got the damage to do so. But like, he was behind and he had to not participate a little bit to get back in the game. Couldn't they have just been in this position with safe laning him? As we see them forcing a BKB charge out from Brink there. And on the bottom lane, Matif, he's hunting. He's Vendetted in behind Era. They're away from the creep wave now, and now he'll open up the Vendetta attack, the Impale, the Mana Burn. And look at that, we've got the Thunder God's Wrath to make sure that Earthshaker was not going to be able to get away after stunning up the Nyx Assassin. Matif does have 3 points into Spike Carapace, so even if a stun came out from the Earthshaker, it would stun him back for quite a decent duration. I think it's like 2 seconds, or it scales up to, yeah, 2.4. So it's 1.8 right now. So close. Almost 2 seconds. Getting better at my actual numbers. I am actually really bad when it comes to ranges or damage numbers or anything like that. It's just... or even like actual cooldown timers. I can't tell you the number of seconds it is. I can tell you if it gets used, when it'll be back up again, though, when I'm playing the game. Like, I've got the feel for it, but I can't tell you the actual seconds. But damage, I have no idea. Same thing. I know how much it's going to chunk a hero at that stage of the game. Well, surprisingly, we have a little bit of a lull in the action here, as we're locked at 23 kills apiece, but it doesn't look like we're going to see any
bottom tower
heroes fighting just yet, or as I say that, no Broodmama.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Not only are they grouping and pushing down mid, but they're actually 5-man grouping. The Broodmother's here.
Halo.
Tier 2 is going to drop very, very quick. It was on low
Dire's
HP.
middle tower has fallen.
Ooh. Oh my goodness, this is ballsy coming out from Brink. He just blinks up onto the high ground, uses the Yules, BKB, Requiem, and we just lose Eleanor to immediately start things off because he just buys back into the game. Now 11 is going to get killed by the Clinks in the background, and now Yoliswag Riku doing so much damage, and we just lost all the heroes on the side and no Broodmama. It happened so quick, I couldn't even find where the Clinks was immediately at the start of that fight when he was engaging, as he just blew up 11 and then just kept mowing through targets. That was a pretty one-sided fight, as now we're going to have a DD spawning in the bottom location, but it's just going to be left there. Matif kind of just hunting around right now. He is vendetted, but there's no heroes alive, so right now I think he's just looking for wards with the gem. And now he's just going to meet up with his team, and they're going to take down this tier 2 tower. Interesting drawing on the map. 11 essentially just drawing one of these straight down the mid lane.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Clinks does so much damage to towers, and this is without using strafe. Wow, they're not going to lose their tier 2. Oh, they might actually, as they're going to lose 11 here. Ooh, Shallow Grave, nice. Coming out from Shanks, keeping that Queen of Pain alive. Now ASDF will just back away though. This has been such a back and forth game. I'm going to take a look at the gold graph as well. Because now it's back in favor of ASDF, and
You can't run from heaven.
every time Shallow Grave wears off, Thunder God's Wrath comes out, Zeus gets another kill. 11 drops this time. 2,500 gold in favor of Team ASDF. XP. Oh my goodness. Where are these kills going on? In the mid lane. But looks like... Oh wow. Yolaswag Rico. He got tossed up in the air. Brink was going to Requiem him with the BKB. But God's Hand just comes swooping in. And Yule Scepters that Shadow Fiend. He's down to 5 seconds now. I think that was a 6 second. He was just trying to hold on to that extra charge for the BKB, but now he's down to 5 seconds. A little bit of backdoor in here, coming out from Yolaswag Rico, taking out that tier 1 tower, and of course it doesn't have backdoor protection, so you can bring them down very, very quickly, but it was the last tier 1 tower left on the map. In the mid lane, Zeus tossed up in the air, will force staff himself down to low ground, but Broodmama doesn't care about it. The Queen of Pain doesn't either. While the Brood just walks down, the Queen of Pain blinks on in, and Brink didn't even have to. He just stood up on the edge of the cliff and attacked from there. And we will lose the Zeus. He doesn't have buyback either. I believe he's actually still on cooldown. Yeah, he's still on cooldown for over 3.5 minutes. Now Brink will find another kill, will he? Oh no, the Yule Scepter will go off from God's Hand. And now he'll swoop on in and use the supernova, but he just gets right click down. All these heroes, I don't know if he even got a fiery soul off. I think he thought his team was going to come in a little bit harder. But oh, that was a big misplay coming out from Team ASDF, as this is going to cost them their racks. As they're going to lose the mid racks, and they need to make sure they don't kind of get desperate and just run in one at a time here and lose more than they're going to, as it's just going to be the one set of racks. They're surely not going to be able to get two, are they? Oh my goodness, I think they will.
Dire's top tower is
yeah,
under
they got
attack.
25 till the Zeus. Yeah, this is going to be two sets of racks. Yikes.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
We just went over the fact that
Dire's top barracks
ASDF,
are
like,
under
that
attack.
graph had come right back to them. And the gold was in their
Radiant's
favor.
bottom tower is under attack.
And now they're down
Dire's
2
top
sets of
barracks
racks.
has fallen. Dire's top barracks has fallen.
Well, I thought they
Radiant's
weren't going to
top
be able to
tower
get
is
that
under
second set
attack.
of racks. I didn't realize how long before we were going to get the Zeus back up. Matilda trying to get a kill on the way on the heroes that are trying to escape. Holy crap. That clinks it so hard. Well, he's going hunting again. He's got a Daedalus. Or sorry, a Chrysalis. Doesn't have a Daedalus yet. He'll actually just run to the Roche pit. Just damage. It's going to be the Clinks that's going to pick it up. And coming up from 11. They knew it was up, but not able to get there in time. The Brood tried to. I know I haven't been able to kind of cover the items, or at least go over the items for everyone. So I'll bring them up on the screen right now, so you guys can take a look. We've got excuse me, the makings of a butterfly for Brink. We also have a solar crest that was picked up by Shanks recently. As for that, we've got the Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker. Besides that, I don't think there's anything else that's new there. I might be missing something, but... As for ASDF, it's now a Daedalus completed by the Clinks. A Veil added on to God's Hand. A cat that's whining, apparently, that wants to be a part of the cast. Excuse me 1 second, guys. Alright, the kitty has been dealt with. We're back and ready to cast the remainder of this game as... Well, it looked no Broodmama favored, then it looked ASDF favored, then it looked no Broodmama favored, then it looked ASDF favored, and now it's no Broodmama favored.
Bottom tower has
as they're going to take a tier 2 in the bottom lane. That's the last tier 2. The only towers left alive for them is a tier 3 in the bottom lane and then the tier 4s. And the ping has already come out onto the tier 3. Now there's an observer up there on the high ground. It's been pinged out. And now Shanks, I don't know what he's doing, just kind of hanging out here alone. But they're just going to punish him for it. And everyone else on his team, there were a couple heroes kind of hanging out. But most of them were pretty damn far. Oh, that's what it was. Shanks was there. He's saying, guys, there's an observer ward here. There's an observer ward here. Come with the gem. Come with the gem. And they were on their way back in with the gem, and they got caught. But yeah, some of the other heroes, I think 11 was like down here, and I think Brink was in the jungle. So both the big cores, they were long gone. Either way, ASDF finds some stragglers and picks them off. Ooh, that's actually going to be a really big pickup for them. We've almost got an Aghanim set there on the Chen. They've got an Aghanims on the Nyx Assassin. And you know what? We didn't really see much come out from the Nyx Assassin last game with the Aghanims. Maybe we will this game. So we'll lock onto Yellow Swag Rico's. He's going hunting again. He sees 11, but not going to go for him. Instead, just going to go for the Alpha Wolf. Then he's going to go for Shanks. And after 2 auto attacks, Shanks having to shallow grave himself. But looks like we are going to lose the Clinks, or are we? No! Oh my goodness! The stun from a Tiff kept Yellow Swag Rico alive long enough to just drop 2 heroes. And then he eventually goes down, but he did have that Aegis. So still value trade, and now, oh no, he's on top of Brink. Brink has used his butterfly, so he doesn't even really have the effect of it. Of course, he did have his Yule, so they have to keep that in mind. Now still, there's a bunch of split pushing coming up from the Broodmama. Kind of just delaying things. You have the fact that you're going up against a Broodmama on top of the fact that you're down 2 sets of racks. It's going to be very, very difficult for ASDF to make any progress towards evening the game. They did just get a pick off on the Broodmama, and that's going to alleviate a lot of the pressure being applied from no Broodmama. The question is ASDF going to be able to push back? Get the lanes pushed out? And try to punish no Broodmama in some way. $80 gold until that Chen has Aghanims. Hand of God every 30 seconds, I believe it is. I believe it's 30. It's either 30 or 20, and I think 20 is just incredible, so it must be 30. The Tiff will get fissure blocked. Great fissure coming out from Era there. 11 and Shanks will be able to bring him down, or will they? Yeah, they will. There's no way he's getting out of there. I was thinking maybe his team was coming. I saw them on the mini-map, but they didn't get there in time. Brink going for the wraparound, coming from behind, but we'll just get Yules by God's hand. Once again, this Observer Ward working out for ASDF. Ping's coming out again. I feel like I've seen this one before. But no, this time they will bring down that Observer Ward, and we'll have a buyback getting forced out. It's just to support Nyx, but he's been a huge part of ASDF's performance so far. No, Broodmama will still stay here.
Dazzle!
Chen stopping the push in the mid lane, and then the Clink's up in the top. I think no Broodmama's waiting for one of the side lanes to push to really. We will have some stuns come out from that Nyx assassin as he sits there just burrowed. That's going to make it very, very difficult for them to push up high ground.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But they'll stick around. It's just so difficult. I don't know how you break high ground right now. Aegis is absolutely gigantic for no Broodmama. Roche will be up soon, but Nyx doing a good job of constantly relocating himself, moving to different locations. Pink's coming out immediately on him.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Here we go. Brink just walks up onto the high ground. The Yolo Swag Rico just pops the strafe and just starts right-clicking him down. But Shallow Grave is there. 11 jumps on in, gets the kill onto Eleanor. Now Brink right-clicking the Supernova, but this time Yolo Swag Rico is able to bring him down. No Shallow Grave. 11 also, fortunately, doesn't have a Shallow Grave either, as Shanks was still on cooldown. And Shanks doesn't manage to get out of there. He does TP away when he was hiding off into the trees on the right-hand side. Broodmama also not TPing back to Fountain, but TPing up to the top lane, as he's going to put more pressure on up there. What that little play does is it just keeps at least one hero from ASDF back. And that's quite important, especially Chen was low as well, so effectively now they've got 2 heroes back here. They just have a few heroes pushing in the bottom lane. Now we're going to have a Shiva's Guard getting completed by God's Hand.
Been killed.
Oh, wow. The courier just went down. I think it died in the mid lane. The ping came out immediately. I think it died to the mid lane creeps. But it had 4,700
Radiant's
gold on
bottom
it.
Tower is under attack.
It had that entire
Radiant
Shiva's Guard for God's Hand.
Fortified.
That is a big item for them to be missing.
Radiant's bottom
Now
tower
we've got the split push
fallen.
coming out from the Broodmama. While there was a little bit of a push coming out from ASDF, they got the bottom tier too. But like I said, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to really push out and get some towers down. But they just did a good job at getting that tier 2. But this is the big target on the map right now. Are they going to be able to control the map, push the waves out enough, relieve that pressure so that they're able to take Roche? And this is a 3rd Roche of the game, so there's a cheese as well as the Aegis. Yolo Swag Rico has started. He's got Roche down to about half, but here comes no Broodmama. Matef getting dropped so quickly, gem on the ground, and now Brink and Co are going to step into the Roche pit, and they do so right as Yolo Swag Rico steps out. And will he be able to get away? The first raise hits, the second doesn't, but the right click is there to finish him off. Just was only going to be able to get off one, but one was more than enough. Didn't get the uphill miss, as I believe he was still on the ramp. There we go. They bring down.
Shadow Wave!
They bring down the Clinks. Wow. GG's actually getting called there. Wow. They don't bother to stick it out. So we had the buyback come out from the Clinks, and GG got called immediately. I'm a little unsure about that GG timing, but it is what it is. I think no Broodmama were very much in control of that game, ASDF did have a little bit of fight. They did have a little bit of pushback. But with that Clinkz dying, with having to use that buyback, and no Broodmama basically being able to go and get Aegis and Cheese, I think ASDF would have going to be in a very, very difficult position, especially, like I said, down 2 racks against a team with a Broodmother. It's very, very difficult to push. And even if you do start to push, if you haven't gotten a kill on the Broodmama, she just comes in behind and wipes out your next creep wave coming. So then you've got no creep wave to push with, and you're pushing against backdoor protection. So it's going to be a very, very difficult game for ASDF to come back in. And I understand why they GG'd. I thought it was a little bit weird. I think they, I would have preferred just to play out that last fight, not because I think it really would have decided the game, or it could have. It could have gave you a little bit more momentum. But either way, they will call it. Like I said, this wasn't the most important game of the season so far, as this was actually our last one in the regular season. And that means that we know how all the teams finished in the red division, with a tie for first place between the Business Gaming and Boreal Esports. They're both at 4-2 records. Then in third place, we're going to have No Broodmama at 3-3. And then we've got ASDF at 1-5. So they do manage to get their first win of the Saturday Dota League, but aren't able to take the series 2-0. They just end up with a tie 1-1. But either way, all these teams will be advancing to the playoffs, which should be starting next Saturday. So stay tuned for that. I will be casting those games. I'm not sure which games I'm going to be casting, but I will be casting games for the first round of the playoffs, so stay tuned for that. Once again, this was I'm Niz for NizCast, and if you guys want to find out more about the tournament, go over to SaturdayDotaLeague.com. And if you missed some of the cast and you want to go back and watch a little bit more of it, I'll be uploading all the games that I cast, all the VODs, to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/NizCast. You can also follow me on @NizCast on Twitter for updates on when I'll be casting. And you can also follow @SaturdayDota on Twitter as well for more information about the tournament. But that's going to do it for me tonight. I know I'm going to go watch some more TI qualifiers, and I'm guessing you will too as well. But everyone else out there, have a good night. I know I will, and we'll see you next Saturday.